Well, we finally get to see the Golden Bell in all of its glory, at least in present time, and you just know Luffy's gonna ring it.
Once a piece, chapter 295, Giant Jack.
Really? Really, this is how we're gonna end up the volume? Son of a... Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the cliffhanger-ridden tale of One Piece. Our last chapter saw us with really Luffy just trying desperately to get onto that damn airship, but we found out, and really I thought saw a great, great moment where Nami was like, we can go and it's cool, and he was like, no, I'm gonna ring that bell, and you just saw that determination and that single-minded, whatever you want to say, tunnel vision, horse blinders, whatever you want to call it. That's what he's gonna do, and that's how the chapter left off, really. So that's where it picks up as well. Actually, Luffy has went and stretched out, and he's just reached and grabbed onto the edge of the airship, and he's gonna get on, and Enel comes over and just goes and just stamps his foot out. And Luffy, of course, drops back down to the cloud, the below, and because he'd obviously had to climb up the rest of that giant jack that to where it had been broken off, and tried to get from there, jump from there, I guess. He tries to grab the waver that Nami's on. He goes flying up in that thing. That doesn't really work for him. It's just not looking good at all, and really, it's a very... Man, I tell you, it's a climactic chapter, but at the same time, it's like nail-biting. You're just sitting here like, son of a bitch, what's going to happen, So we go back down to the bottom of the giant jack, where, of course, Robin and Wyper and Isa, and of course you got the knockdown, and Usopp, he's still awake over here, conscious anyway, and then of course Zoro has woken up, and Chopper is still, I believe, down for the count, but nonetheless, though, they're all down there, right? So and Wyper's actually not attacking everybody else, so it's a win in my book. So all of a sudden Usopp's like, oh my god, it's a leaf! There's this giant leaf. It comes down there like, wait, there's something that's written on it, And you go and you see north, south, east, west with the west, sign circled or whatever. I'm like, what the hell? And Robin goes and says, it says to cut down the giant jack and cut it down so it falls going west, And I'm like, what the hell? So we go back up to Luffy and Nami, and really there's some discussion down below about what they're going to do. There's some discussion up above. Enel is going and gathering this giant frickin' cloud, and just to just wipe out Skypiea entirely. Now he took out Angel Island, of course, in the last in the last chapter, and then you also see a brief respite where you see all of the the Skypieans. And they're like, what the hell? Because of what he did, it wound up blocking the entrance to get down to the White Sea. So they can't even get down there to get to Cloud's End. They're basically just floating around in the White Sea as they're seeing it be just dissipating and disappearing because of these lightning bolts and this huge crazy attack that's coming down, just world-ending type of stuff. Just very, very big on a large scale. It was cool because Alabasta was the first time we saw something on a huge countrywide scale that affected millions of people and everything else. And although it was very cool and it was done very well, even though I feel that Skypiea is probably smaller in scale as far as the amount of people and everything like that, to me, it just feels more cataclysmic what's going on. It just feels more like, holy shit, this is really going to just put a mark on the world, And again, we just kind of see Enel just, I can do this just because I can. He winds up going and actually getting to the Golden Bell. And I don't know if it's all the way at the top of the giant jack or if there was another piece of it or whatever the case was, because all of a sudden he's they show his ship going along and they kind of see this little glimmer in the distance by some clouds. So I don't know if it got stuck in one of the clouds or something like that, but you wind up seeing this bell tower that it's referred to again, and I don't care again about pronunciations and belfries and back in the times this and that. It's a giant bell, and it's being held up by these giant pillars around it, and the portion of it that has stairs and everything like that going up to it, I would have called it a bell tower. I mean, it's a housing for a bell, but whatever the case may be, this giant freaking bell is jammed into the sky over here. I know I'm probably going to take some shit for the whole bell thing. And that's the Golden Bell. Enel finds the Golden Bell. He's there. He's upon it. And then he's gathering up his ultimate attack because he's going to wind up putting another one of these crazy fucking ball of lightnings that took out Angel Island to take out all of Skypiea, right? And he is. That's his end game, obviously, to do it just because he can. So it winds up going back to Luffy and Nami is like, hey, listen, you know what? I'm gonna go with it. And he's like, dude, you can take the waiver, you can get out of here, Nami. And she's like, no, you know what? Tell you what, I'll give you a ride over there on the waiver, because I know if I leave you with the waiver, you're just gonna try to get to him again. But we only got one shot at this, and you still don't kind of know exactly what's going on. But we only got one shot at this, and I'll stay with you. But I got to make sure that you promise me that you'll keep me from dying. And Luffy's like, all right, cool, you got it, because she's like, you're going to ring that bell, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to ring the bell. And even though it looks hopeless for him, I'm going to ring the bell, So, very cool stuff. But then they go and they show the conversation between everybody down at the bottom of the giant jack, and they're all down there and talking about it, and they're like, well, cut it down. And they're arguing, why should we cut it down? Why should we this? Why should we that? Well, the idea is, and I think a second leaf actually came down to tell them, the idea is if they cut it down so it falls going west, that's where the airship is, and as it's falling down going west, they can jump from there to the airship or maybe fly off on the waiver or something like that. So it's really just a crazy, ingenious, like, just batshit fucking crazy plan, basically, is what it is, So the volume winds up ending up, though, right after that. We get to see the golden bell, which is nice, and Enel finds it. He's gearing up to go and just completely destroy the island. And you really get the whole cool thing here about Nami going, you better promise me you'll keep me alive. And he's like, all right, that's cool, Everybody thinks it's absolutely nuts what he's doing. But then you get this kind of cool flash that we sometimes see of all the different crew members, even Wyper's in there, right? And it's just basically those two are our only hope, and you just see that determined look in Luffy's face, and you know shit's about to go down when you see that face. That's that, I'm gonna kill a god, right? That's that type of face, And I love that he is just like so singularly focused that it's just, I am going to go and go and go, and it's just that motor keeps going, He will die before he doesn't get to his goal. And then there's never like a waver in determination at all. It's never like, this might be too tough, or like I may want to give up. No, it's like, I'm going to ring that bell so those guys down there can know that this exists. That's what I'm doing. I don't care if it looks hopeless. I don't care if it's impossible. I'm doing it. And people like Luffy are great, because we really need more dreamers like that in the world. We need more people that go, those are the people that go and are at the forefront of things like cures for diseases and stuff like that. The people that are thinking outside the box and that have a goal and they push and push and push to get to it. Not the people that just talk about doing it. You can talk all day long, but actions speak louder than words. So that's how the volume ends up. And my chapter question for you is, brothers and sisters, what do you think about this crazy, seemingly crazy plan that Luffy has to certainly have them cut down the giant jack and have it lean so it falls a certain way so he can go? Seems crazy to me, but certainly, it's something that came from Luffy's brain, so I'm sure it'll work. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, nation.
Yep, well, I like them breasts. Why don't you come follow me over on the Twitter and Facebook as well?